All right, what is up, everybody? What is up? We are live here from the After the Review studios. I am your host, Peter. Fun Tuesday night. I'm in a great mood. My Aggies taking down the #1 ranked Auburn basketball squad. So we're going to have a good time. We're going to be talking free agency as the franchise tag deadline has officially crossed. So we're going to go through our best available free agents. Naturally, the first two guys on PFF's top free agent list were our guys who were franchise tagged. So the Bengals did officially franchise tag T. Higgins at, I believe, like $26.3 million mark. And then the Kansas City Chiefs hit that franchise tag on guard Trey Smith for about, I think, $23 million. But only two guys franchise tagged. That's the lowest amount of guys franchise tag in a good bit, I think since the 90s, maybe the 80s even. I'll have to pull that up. I think Shefty had that thing tweeted out on that. But regardless, only two guys franchise tag, so that means there's still a ton of super valuable free agents out there. T. Higgins, our first guy. T. Higgins is good. We like T. Higgins. T. Higgins is very good at the football. But it looks like the Bengals are trying to work towards a long-term deal with Higgins. They think Higgins is going to be part of the future. Now, it's really hard to pay multiple guys. I mean, 4 guys. They're trying to pay 4 guys. They have to deal with Jamar Chase. They've already signed Burrow to a long-term contract. So you add T. Higgins, you have Jamar Chase, and then Trey Hendrickson, who led the NFL in sacks and was pretty much the only competent person on that defense last year, is your final remaining guy. So if we can get a Trey Hendrickson deal done, that would be pretty impressive. Really 4 guys on big contracts. You don't really see that, but the Bengals are trying. Historically known as a super cheap franchise. We'll see what the Bengals are up to. Apparently, the granddaughter's involved now. She's big on, spending the money on these players. So we'll see how it goes for her. See how it goes in Kansas City. You don't love this PFF comp, though. They're comping my man T. Higgins to Kenny Golladay. R.I.P. Kenny Golladay, don't do it. Trey Smith obviously gone. So #1 on PFF's, I should say, free agent big board is our guy Javon Holland. Now, I am very interested in Javon Holland for my Vikings. I think he could be a huge add. There is a lot of open areas in the secondary. Harrison Smith probably coming back. Now, the Vikings might move on from him. Cam Bynum is a free agent. Javon Holland obviously played with Brian Flores out in Miami, drafted him out of Oregon in 2021. One of the 5 highest graded safeties in 2 of his first 3 seasons in the league. That was with Brian Flores. Career low at PFF. Only an overall grade of a 63. But his body of work more than speaks for itself. His free agent comp is Jesse Bates, and we've seen how bad the Bengals have missed Jesse Bates. I mean, the Bengals defense has been horrible. Isaac, I would get rid of Higgins and spend on O-line in the free agency. The problem is the Bengals aren't going to be able to spend on O-line compared to everybody else. They really don't have that kind of cash out there. If we go to over the cap, I think over the cap is going to give us a good look at this. When we look at these teams over here on over the cap, first and foremost, the Patriots. Patriots, $127 million, 119, almost $120 million in effective cap space. They need a ton of offensive line. The Cardinals, 74, they could use some offensive line. The Bears at 58, they could use offensive line. Chargers, they're probably good on the offensive line. Commanders need a tackle. I expect them to draft a tackle, though. The Vikings desperately need an offensive line. The Lions are going to be in a market. So, and let's just go to effective cap space. The Raiders, they're probably good on the offensive line overall, but look at these top teams. These teams all need offensive line. Bengals down here at $39 million. And they got to pay Jamar Chase. Now they're still going to get his 5th-year option at that cheap number, so that's okay. Trey Hendrickson and T. Higgins at 26. Now they get the extension. Maybe they can bring that 26 number down. But I don't think so. I think T. Higgins is going to be in that 27 to 28 number mark. He wants to be one of the higher paid. I mean, he wants to be paid like a number 1 wide receiver, especially if he's going to be forced to stay in Cincinnati. Brian, what's up? So I just think the Bengals are in a tough spot here. Jets could use an offensive line. Packers, Rams are cutting guys. The Rams are shedding a little bit of cap right now, sending their center to Chicago. Steelers, they could use an offensive line. Offensive line is just way too expensive, and that's why the Chiefs tagged Trey Smith. Trey Smith was going to get a stupid number in free agency, I think. They weren't going to be able to keep him, so at 23, they're in very good shape. Now, the problem is you can't really spend on the interior of offensive lines. Can you spend on the edges? Absolutely. If you're paying tackles, I'm okay. Ronnie Staley's going to hit the market. Probably. Sounds like it. Patriots going to pay a lot for Ronnie Staley, I'd bet. So I just don't think the Bengals need to spend on defense. Draft on defense. The offensive line can figure it out. Now they're cutting out. They already cut Alex Kappa. That was a cap hit. Kappa's a cap hit. Tough look for him. So Joe Burrow's telling him, I want my weapons. I don't need these guys necessarily. Also got the Suns and the Clippers on. Let me take a look at this. The Suns look terrible, guys. Jesus. If you haven't already, drop a quick like on this stream. Helps us out in the algorithm. If you're not subbed already, drop a sub. We got daily sports content. We got the live streams. We got daily videos. Got our sports stat fact of the day shorts. Lots of great content for you guys. Hopefully you figured out, been a Bengals fan since 06. Isaac, big Carson Palmer guy. Man, I love those 06 Carson Palmer. Ocho Cinco, TJ Who's Your Mama out there. Good team. Fun team. Hopefully we get Starks in the draft. Yeah, I have Malachi Starks getting drafted. I had them taking Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. I have them going D-line. They need to stop that run. I think they got to beef up the interior. Now, there's a really, really good defensive tackle draft. You can get defensive tackles in free agency, I think. So, depends. Free agency is going to be a big impact on what we do for everybody in the draft. So, I'm a huge Javon Holland fan. I think his best production was under Brian Flores. I think he's built for a Brian Flores defense. Vikings could use some safety help. We need some corners, but we got a lot of money, so I like Javon Holland there. Here's really who I think is going to break the bank this offseason. It's Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin is going to get paid, boys. And when I say he's going to get paid, he's going to get paid. If you look at Chris Godwin's numbers, they're comping him to Allen Robinson in 2022. Now, we know how bad the Allen Robinson free agency thing worked out in LA, but Chris Godwin is not Allen Robinson. Now, I am a little scared coming off of that pretty severe lower leg injury. Didn't he dislocate his ankle? I believe, yep, left ankle dislocation. Not great. We'll see how it goes. Now, there was rumors that potentially Godwin would have been back if the Buccaneers made a deep playoff run. Obviously, one and done for the Bucs. Unfortunate for them. I'm a big Godwin fan. Is he a number 1 wide receiver? I don't know. He kind of looked like it, though. When Mike Evans went down, Chris Godwin was absolutely cooking this season as kind of their primary focus. Mike wasn't really getting the looks. Then Mike goes down. Chris Godwin is their number 1 guy. He's having a big-time season. Unfortunately, loses him to the dislocated ankle. Only, reliable hands. 6% of catchable passes dropped in 7 of his 8 NFL seasons. My man's got solid hands. He works over the middle, throw him the ball. He's not necessarily a burner type, but he has an elite route running ability, great hands, gets open, super smart player. I love a guy like Chris Godwin to go to. Stop advertising Google, you piece of shit. Best Buy, whoever the fuck you are. Where do I think Chris will land? Exactly where I was getting to. The Patriots, I think Chris Godwin is a great fit in New England. They can pay him as a number 1 wide receiver. They don't have really any weapons. Get my man Drake May some weapons. And we know that Mike Vrabel is not an old crotchety defensive guy. He loves his weapons. The entire fallout and breakup in Tennessee was ultimately over the A.J. Brown trade. He wanted to pay A.J. Brown, keep A.J. Brown as his number one guy in Tennessee. The GM said otherwise. It falls apart. I think the Patriots, with just like significant more money than everybody else, can just outbid for a guy like Godwin. He's super reliable, strong hands, great weapon to get for your rookie quarterback, or I shouldn't say rookie, young quarterback, second year guy. That's the kind of stuff I want to see with them. So I love Godwin to a team like the Patriots. The Raiders, another team, really interesting. What are they going to do? They need a wide receiver. Are the Raiders going to draft a wide receiver? I had them drafting Ted McMillan out of Arizona with their first pick. What's the quarterback situation? I'm not 100% sure. Is it going to be my man, Sam the Man Darnold? Doesn't necessarily sound like it. So the Raiders, another team, could go get a receiver. Arizona, I think Arizona's got other areas of need. Even though they could use some wide receivers, the Vikings don't need a receiver. The Chargers, another team with wide receiver needs. So I think that could be big areas of need. Commanders off the list with the adding of Deebo Samuel. I don't think this is added in the Deebo Samuel contract. Maybe it has at 58. Maybe they have added in the Deebo contract because I think they were pretty high. I think they were higher than the Vikings on effective cap space. So anyway, oh man, what's up, Big Dog? Elite Division Sports in the chat. One of the GOATs. Going good. How about my Aggies? Taking down number 1 Auburn tonight. Unfortunately, they lost to your Gators on Saturday. Shamar Stewart, big combine. I kind of knew he would do that. Came in about 20 pounds underweight and cooked it up. Big freaky athlete. Potentially could land himself in the top 10 with that combine performance. A&M puts out defensive linemen, guys. If we do anything, it's defensive linemen. Myles Garrett, Robert Ndicke. What is he? Changed his name. Whatever. It's not Robert Ndicke anymore. Ndicke. God, DeMontre Moore, Giants legend. God, who else? Von Miller, obviously Hall of Famer. We put up defensive linemen in the NFL. Aggie Pack Pimpin, took down Auburn. I don't think Nick Scorton really did anything at the combine. I don't really like Nick Scorton. He was a super letdown this year. A lot of production at Purdue, no production this year. DeMarvin Leal, Michael Clemens. Michael Clemens was a little bit. DeMarvin Leal was a big impact guy. I thought Michael Clemens would do more in the league, but we put out defensive linemen. Just like that's what we do. Defensive linemen and maybe drug addict quarterbacks. That's what A&M does. Some good wide receivers too. Mike, Christian Kirk, pretty good wide receivers out there every now and then for a mediocre school. What we don't put out there is defensive backs. I can promise you we don't put out defensive backs. So we're going to have 3. Stewart goes top 10. Yeah, probably in that 10 to 15 range. Also, Walter Nolan. 1 year at Ole Miss, another Aggie guy. Played at A&M for his first 2 years. Scorton, probably second round now. He fell. His just no pass rush. Good run defense. Played a lot better in the run this year, and I think he was worried about that. And then Shamar Turner, who would have been a first-round pick coming into it, had a rod in his leg. He broke his leg right before the start of the season, and it really hurt him all year, and it was kind of kept on the down low. He had the rod taken out before the Senior Bowl. And then, kind of going to fall there. But I think Shamar Turner, an interesting guy as well. I kind of liked him. Just never really produced. No, none of our guys ever produced. Jordan shouting out JC. Cool guy. Walter Nolan to the Ravens. I don't think Walter Nolan's making it there. I had Cincy taking him. I think Walter Nolan's another top 15 guy. If he's on the board for Minnesota, Minnesota's going to take him. I'm pretty confident the Vikings would take him at 15. So, we'll see. It's a great defensive line draft. It's such a good defensive line draft. I hate how bad pretty much it's defensive line and running back, guys. The offensive line's all over the place. The receivers aren't very good. The DBs aren't great. I'm not a huge Jahdae Barron guy. The safety class is kind of weak. Jahad Campbell's making some noise, really kind of pumping up the linebackers, I guess, overall. But still a lot to be desired out of pretty much every position but running back, defensive line, which is great. I love it. The Vikings need defensive line and they need running backs. I absolutely love it. That's exactly what we need is defensive line and running backs. We only have 4 picks. We need both those positions and we need some offensive line, which is okay. I think in the later rounds, like I'll be honest, if we draft Gray Zabel with our first pick, I'm not going to be super ecstatic. I'm going to be kind of like, whatever if we draft Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State. I think he's versatile. I think he could be good. I think Gray Zabel could be really good, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It doesn't get me jazzed up at 24. Yeah, Kenneth Grant to Minnesota. That's who I had us mocked with. I love Kenneth Grant. I'm disappointed he didn't work out. He had the hamstring injury that they found at the medicals. He was planning on working out. Yeah, I love Kenneth Grant. Interior monster. My dad's trying to sell me on Harmon and Alexander, Toledo and Oregon, and I watched them a lot. And I don't know. I wasn't blown away by either of those guys. Where do you think Aaron Jones? I think the Vikings bring back Aaron Jones. I think they're going to run platoon backfield this year with Aaron Jones. Kelvin Banks being slept on a little. Yeah, so that was interesting. I thought the offensive lineman kind of sucked. Bruce Feldman had a different take. I thought they looked really fat. You know, that's, if you guys know me, that's my knock on. That's what when offensive linemen don't look good, that's my go-to. Offensive linemen look fat. They're fat. They're unathletic. They don't make plays. So I thought Banks was a little, I don't know. NFL guys apparently are talking about him moving into guard. Multiple teams interviewed him about moving into guard, which is crazy because it feels like Kelvin Banks was the only real left tackle besides like Wyatt Milgrom, who's not really a first round left tackle. Will Campbell's got stubby arms. I mean, he got little baby arms. He's looking like Deadpool with the baby arms out there. I don't know how he's going to block anybody on the edge. Put him at right tackle. Put him at guard. I love him to the Bears now to be that Penei Sewell type. Not quite as good as Penei Sewell, but I like him there a lot. I don't know what we're going to see from the tackle position. Like, is anybody really going to be making a move here at the left tackle spot with the guys we got? It just doesn't feel like there's a great left tackle out there. Like, Membu's going to get drafted high. I don't know if Membu's going to play left tackle. What is his stats? He played right tackle in college, so he's not going to play left tackle. Teams are going to move him inside. What do you think about Pittsburgh draft? Matthew Golden probably not going to be on the board anymore at that spot. If Golden's on the board, I'd be ecstatic. Golden's probably the biggest guy who raised the stock. I did not know. I don't think any of us thought he was going to run that 4.30. You know, we got goofy ass Isaiah Bond over here talking about he's going to break the record, and he's got a teammate cooking him in the 40 for that. Ibuka's fine. I'm okay with Ibuka. I definitely starting to think Pittsburgh goes wide receiver now. No left tackles. Chicago's only good lineman is already right tackle, Darnell Wright. Well, they're going to move some stuff, okay? They're going to move some stuff. Ben Johnson's making moves. They already traded for his center. Maybe they'll play Will Campbell in an interior. Maybe they move Darnell Wright into guard. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Jonah Jackson. Yeah. I mean, it's a good move. Like, the Bears need offensive line. He's expensive. He kind of had a down season for the Rams. Wasn't very good. But you need offensive line. And if anybody's going to be able to identify offensive line, I trust Ben Johnson. He's got a real knack for, if Ben Johnson has any input on the Detroit Lions offensive line, he knows what he's doing with the offensive line. So I trust him. Josh Simmons is low-key a beast at guard. Yeah, they moved Simmons out to tackle this year. I mean, or no, Simmons has been straight up tackle his whole time. He projects better at guard. Who is homeboy? Who did they move in from guard to right tackle, Ohio State? Who was that? They moved in their like all-pro guard to right tackle or left tackle. Anyway, Simmons is also going to be out probably till October. He tore his knee in October. As our expert Dalston said, 9 months is really pushing it. Probably 12 for offensive linemen, or for anybody, I mean. Realistic. Who are my top 5 running backs in the draft? That's a tough question. Obviously, Genty won. Isaac says Cam Scattaboo's his favorite running back of the draft. Personally, he slept on. Problem is, Scattaboo's slow. He didn't run that 40 for a reason. He didn't run that 40 for a reason. I do like Cam Scattaboo. He is a football player. I do like football players. Hank, we miss Jay Cutler. I don't think anybody miss Jay Cutler doesn't. Jay Cutler's mom doesn't even miss Jay Cutler. Dawson, a chill guy. Yeah, he is a chill guy. And a good friend. Known him for a good minute there. Who would have thunk it? Offensive lineman in high school. Offensive lineman in high school. Small guy. Not big. Not an offensive lineman build at all. Talk about athletic right tackles. My man was pulling and blocking safeties left and right. Genty, Hampton, Henderson, Judkins, Etienne. Ooh, very high on Etienne. I'm going to agree. I'm going to go Genty, Hampton as my 1 and 2. I still think I like Samson. I still think I like Samson a little bit more than Henderson. I would put Henderson 4 and then Scattaboo 5. I think Judkins scares me. I mean, you got Pickens, so he wouldn't scare you in Pittsburgh. Judkins kind of a crazy guy. Caleb Johnson, I thought really hurt his stock this weekend, was very slow. Was really slow compared to the other guys. RJ Harvey had a big combine. DJ Giddens had an excellent combine, crushed his 40 times. Way faster than the medical science even projected. Dawson talked about it like most of his guys set PRs in the 40 this weekend or last weekend. Most of his guys set PRs, and a good chunk of them ran faster than they even projected with the computer projections. Like what they thought they could possibly run as their fastest time, they broke. So that turf was running crazy fast. That should just like destroy Isaiah Bond's draft stock with how bad his 40 is. SJ, what is up? What's cooking? I'm doing good. We are talking free agency, trying to figure out what the Vikings are going to do. Austin, what's up? Yeah, Samson's good. Samson is good. Love Fields, Judkins, Ibuka, Ohio State love. It looking like Fields. You're going to get your wish. You're going to get your wish. It looks like Fields to Pittsburgh. If I had to project, it would be Fields as the starting quarterback for Pittsburgh next year. It looks like you're going to get your wish. Cam Scattaboo got that dog in him. Better version of Peyton Hillis. Well, pretty much everybody's better version of Peyton Hillis as an NFL running back. Peyton Hillis, obviously a great guy, worked for the FBI. And saved his kids this year. Like Peyton Hill is an awesome guy. Yeah, and you know what? And Scattaboo had an unbelievable vertical, 39.5 vertical for a guy like Cam Scattaboo. That's dog shit right there. Is only 5'11", a little bit smaller, but like running backs are getting increasingly bigger and bigger. 215, not the fastest guy. I love the power. Love the power for Cam Scattaboo. And he is a football player. He's going to leave it all out there on the field. Don't... Toby Gerhart 2.0. He's better than Toby Gerhart. Toby Gerhart kind of sucked. I think he's going to be better than Toby Gerhart. Toby Gerhart drove me fucking insane in Minnesota. My guy fumbled more than he should have had any business fumbling. Hillis did have that 1 year, got him on the cover of Madden. That was a crazy year. We do live in times. And he was in that Arkansas offense. Wasn't it him and Felix Jones and who else was in that Arkansas off? Like, and McFadden? Was it McFadden? It was McFadden and Felix Jones and Peyton Hillis, right? That was like the Arkansas offense that 1 year, and they were running triple option with those three. That's a real throwback. If you're old enough to remember that, good on you. Devin Neal, interesting. Jaden Blue's a home run hitter. I actually this is crazy. I really like Taj Brooks. I really like Taj Brooks out of Texas Tech. I thought they said he's the best pass blocker. He does have some miles on him. But better 40, great guy. Dawson was one of Dawson's guys. And I brought him up unprompted and said he's just a great guy. Great guy. Fits our family model. I hate that. How would you feel if the Vikings drafted Benjamin Morrison? I just don't think we better not draft him in the first round. And he's not going to be there in the third round at 97. Now, if we trade back and get some picks, late first round, get a second round pick, maybe. But we need guys that are going to play now. We do have Mekhi Blackman would have been our starting corner this year, coming back towards ACL the first day of practice. That really kind of just screwed everything up. First day of training camp towards ACL. And he was good 2 years ago as a rookie out of USC. Big physical corner. Liked him a lot. Tay Adams and Darius Slay both said they love to play for Coach Tomlin. Yeah, except I feel like Devontae's going with Aaron Rodgers and the West Coast. Yep, the West Coast is really pulling him. Darius Slay's had some weird shit. He said some weird shit about Detroit, Darius Slay. I think he's going to be more of I could see him more on like a Chiefs or like a Super Bowl team. I don't know what the move's going to be in Detroit for him. Darius Slay has said he wants to play another year. I don't know what his value is. Ollie Gordon has potential. I don't know. Ollie Gordon had a bad combine. Bashal Tootin, home run hitter. And we called it on the stream, guys. We said Bashal Tootin was going to have a great combine. We said he was going to blow it out of the water. Lightning fast. Great vertical. Great broad jump. Bashal Tootin, a home run guy. Yeah, ETN's interesting. Really good in the pass game. I thought all the running backs were pretty good in the pass game. Yeah, I'm just kind of out on Ollie Gordon. Kind of out. I need to see more. Brashad Smith had a really good combine. He had a really fast. I think he had the second fastest 40, Brashad Smith. That's interesting. Who are my top three corners? Travis Hunter, obviously. Will Johnson. Let's just take Travis Hunter out. So Will Johnson. I don't love... It would be Will Johnson, then Jahdae Barron. And then I think I like my guy Maxwell Harrison over Trey Amos. Maxwell Harrison is a lightning bug. I could be a little biased because Kentucky's one of my online dynasty teams. But Siobhan Revel coming off the knee. Darian Porter had a really good combine. Darian Porter really had a really good combine. And obviously Benjamin Morrison has a high potential. Dorian Strong had a good combine as well. I thought Kobe Bryant ran well. So corner's kind of thin this year, especially with the weird albatross that is Travis Hunter. I don't know what to do with Travis Hunter. Drafting him as an athlete, as a football player, Travis Hunter is what I'm drafting him as. Making him, he's a good corner. I'd probably have him as my second corner behind Will Johnson if it was just a straight corner. Montrell Johnson is the fantasy handcuff. Don't worry. We'll be on top of all the fantasy handcuffs and picks possible. We just started back up over at the Catch Fantasy Football. Did a stream last Sunday. Getting talks into some dynasty work. Season's coming. No more T. Higgins for the Patriots. I know. Bummer, darkness. Bummer. But Patriots talked Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin to the Patriots. You see Will Johnson sliding, or you think he stays in the top 10 to 12? That's interesting. Let's go to our mock draft. So, word is, this is going to be the trade. I'm getting buzzed that this is going to be a trade. I hope I'm not blowing anybody's mind. Oh, you guys can't even see it. Hope I'm not blowing anybody's mind here. I'm getting a lot of buzz that the Giants might be moving up to number 1. A lot of buzz that the G-Men might be making a move. So, G-Men make a move. Go Cam Ward. Cleveland. God knows what the Clevelands are going to do. I don't know what the Browns are going to do. Browns, I don't know what they're going to do. The Browns don't go quarterback. Browns don't go quarterback. I think the Browns go here if they trade Myles Garrett. Now that puts Tennessee in a really, really bad spot. Puts Tennessee in a bad spot. And they go Travis Hunter. Now this cooks the Patriots. Patriots don't have a guy. So if the Patriots are shitting here, I think the Patriots go Mason Graham. And then that really, really upsets the Jaguars. Puts the Jaguars in a bad spot. Jaguars could go corner here. And if they go corner, they would go Jahdae Barron. We go Tet McMillan to the Raiders, I think. And then the Jets are going to go... I'm seeing Tyler Warren with the Jets. Like the Jets trading back with the Saints potentially. But there's a lot of Tyler Warren buzz to the Jets. There's a lot of Travis Hunter buzz to the Patriots. I still think that the Panthers go Malachi Starks. Then the Saints go D-line. They go James Pierce. They get our first pass rusher. Chicago goes tackle. Go Membu here. They'll go Genty. So yeah, Will Johnson could fall. Will Johnson could fall. Unless we get unless the Jags love Will Johnson over Jahdae Barron and they go Will Johnson. Will Johnson could fall a bit. Because they're going to go offensive linemen. They could go Banks here. Go Banks. Mike Green. I could see Jahad Campbell here. And then you got the Cardinals. They go pass rusher here. Maybe they go Kenneth Grant. Bengals go Walter Nolan. We could see a run. Pats aren't taking Will Campbell. Pats are Travis Hunter or Mason Graham. They're going defense with their pick. Unless they go Tet McMillan. If they can't land a receiver, they're going to go Tet McMillan. But they're not going Will Campbell at 4. He's not a home run. McMillan's not that kind of home run at 4. It's not it would be a trade down if they're going to. Now, they could easily swap. Like, if the Raiders want to go 6 here and swap, I could see that. And then they go like Will Campbell at 6. Now, somebody's going to trade up here to go get Shadur Sanders or Jackson Dart coming up here. I don't know where that trade's going to be. Maybe the trade is here in 28 to the 30 range. Somebody's trading back in to get one of those 2 quarterbacks. I think they go edge. Here, Will Johnson does not get past the Buccaneers. Will Johnson does not get past the Buccaneers at 19. That's safe to say. The Steelers are then going to take a wide receiver, and if Luther Burden falls, they'll probably take... I'm thinking they're taking Golden, actually. Golden fits them so much better. They're taking Golden. Oh, wait, that was Denver. Oops. But Denver would take Golden then. Yeah, Mike Kell just doesn't have the production. Shamar. People could fall in love with Shamar. I don't know. I have to see free agency to see exactly what teams are going to do. But then Pittsburgh would go... I would go Luther then. Then we could see Ibuka here. Could go tight end. They're going to go edge. They'll go Michael or Shamar Stewart. We'll go D-line. We'll probably go here. They'll go Josh Simmons. They'll go Gray Zabel. They'll go Shamar. They'll go Nick Gordon, I think. They're going to go tackle. They'll go Cornley. They'll go Alexander. They're going to go Jalen Walker. And they're going to go... Go Landon Jackson? That's kind of a reach. This could be the trade back spot for the quarterback. This could be a trade back spot with like... And then Tennessee goes Shadur. I could see something like that. That's just a rough guess. Prior, let's see. Giants would be... Let me get back to the chat, guys. Giants would be genius to secure Cam. That's what I'm thinking. Cleveland goes Carter. Pats aren't going Will Campbell. If I'm a trash stream, I'm going to try and get Luther Burden and McMillan and get Rodgers. Just jump ball and speedster. Is Nash from San Jose State projected high? I don't think so. Let's see where Nash is. 166 for Nick Nash. Maybe here's your Puka Nacua. Maybe here's your Puka Nacua this year, but you know who I really like? I really like Jack Beach. Jack Beach growing on me a lot. Higgins looked good. Noel looked good. I like Restrepo, but he didn't work out. Fuck Savion Williams. He's trash. Tez Johnson had the most insane combine, guys. So he was the smallest wide receiver like ever, 154. Just like the 0th percentile for wide receivers. He ran like one of the slowest 40s, like a 4.6 40, which is incredibly slow at that size. But he was like the 6th fastest guy at top end speed during his 40. And he ran like an elite 3-cone drill. I think he had like the fastest 3-cone drill. Ches Johnson had a bizarre combine. Donovan over Michael. Yeah, probably. Donovan Ezeriku. We're still butchering his name. The guys love Ezeriku. I would go Luther over Ibuka. Who's the best college duo in football? What do you mean by duo? Like running back, wide receiver, quarterback? Where's your absolute bloodline, Kyle McCord land? Yo, I heard Kyle McCord, like, God, who had that today? Somebody had a Kyle McCord landing spot, like a good spot too. Like he's flying up there. Shit. Where was it? I'm trying to remember. Somebody had this today. It wasn't Schrager. Fuck, who was talking NFL? Somebody was talking NFL. Who was I listening to today? They had a Kyle McCord landing spot. Damn it. The Cowboys, maybe? Maybe it was the Cowboys and Kyle McCord? Might have been the Cowboys. I think it was the Cowboys. Cowboys, Kyle McCord. Best duo in college next year? It's a tough question. There's none of the quarterbacks are coming to my mind that they're even good. Whoever plays at Ohio State. There you go. Julian Sand and whatchamacallit? Jeremiah Smith. Yeah. Jeremiah Smith and that freshman. Yeah, that's probably it. Julian Sand. I think he's a sophomore. God, I split my nail, guys. Yikes. Oh my God. Where is college football? There we go. Oh my, let's find the Buckeyes here. Where's our quarterbacks? This guy, Julian Sand's going to be the starter. No. DJ Lagway, boom, answer just like that, yeah. DJ Lagway and Dallas Winston, no. Wilson, no. Anybody looking to buy a new smoker? I'm looking to buy a new smoker, guys. This guy, Julian Sand. Apparently, this cat is a dog. He's going to be a sophomore next year. I think he's a redshirt. This guy's a dog. Allegedly. Can't confirm. Haven't seen him play. Lagway better than Sand? Yeah, probably. But nobody's better than Jeremiah Smith, and nobody really is even close to Jeremiah. Ryan Williams is about as close to Jeremiah Smith as you're going to get. Jeremiah Smith would be the first pick in the NFL if he was out this year. Like, I'm very confident the first pick would be Jeremiah. Like, the Titans would take Jeremiah Smith this year at number 1. Jeremiah Smith would be the number 1, for sure the number 1 wide receiver this year. But I'm pretty sure he'd be the number 1 overall pick. That's how good Jeremiah Smith is. Jeremiah Smith is like Hall of Fame wide receiver right now, potential-wise. I don't know how anybody doesn't go crazy over him. If I could buy a smoker, I would give it to you. Except he can't be in fantasy. Jeremiah Smith ain't going anywhere. He's stuck in college for another 2 years. Jeremiah Smith is stuck at Ohio State for 2 more years, guys. Just weep about it. Stuck at Ohio State. The first round. He'd be the first overall pick. He'd be number 1. Number 1. I'm not going out on a limb here. I think it's Jeremiah Smith would be the best number 1 player right now off the board. At worst, he is number 3. If we don't re-sign Fields, I'll put my hands on the hot smoker. Don't worry. That's not much of a risk. Fields is a lock. Damn it, dude. Okay, yeah, more free agents. Khalil Mack. Remember Khalil Mack, guys? If you let me bet on football, maybe I can get that smoker. I can't even bet on football. Gambling's illegal in my state. I would never break the law, guys. You think so? Yeah. Yep. That's all I want in life. It's a lock. I would be very surprised if he's not back in Pittsburgh. Everything I've read, everything I've listened to is he's back. Return of the Mac to Chirac? I don't think so. Fact, football is life. Sometimes. Not good to be a Vikings fan if you think football is life. Because it's just going to ruin you. But yes, in fact, ball is life. Ball is always life. Top 5 rookies this year, in my opinion. Like coming in? I don't know. God. Or like this past year. This past year was Jaden, Brock, BJ, Brian Thomas Jr., Jared Verse, and Quinion Mitchell. Those are my top 5. Who's a random free agent you want Minnie to sign? Milton Smith, the D tackle out of Philly. DJ Reed or Javon Holland. I really want DJ Reed. We need a corner really bad. But Milton Smith, a little bit more of a random guy. Now, we hit last year. Last year, my random guy was Van Ginkel. We crushed on Van Ginkel. Love me some Van Ginkel. Khalil Mack's an interesting one. Where does he comp? Von Miller 2022? That sounds about right. I don't think he's going to be back with the Chargers. Where Khalil Mack goes, I don't know what Khalil Mack's value is. He's kind of old. How old is Khalil Mack? 31? How old's Khalil Mack? He's 34. God, he's too old. Man, I'm getting old. Everybody's getting old. Khalil Mack's already 34. Yeah, I just don't know what you do with him. I don't know who needs an old-ass pass rusher. Detroit? He doesn't fit their scheme, though. He's a 3-4 edge. That's a tough question. DJ Reed, get him in Minnesota. He's much better than Malcolm Butler. Amari Cooper. Who the hell wants Amari Cooper? He was so ass down the stretch in Buffalo. Who wants Amari Cooper? That just feels like a terrible, terrible pick. Like, what does he contribute anymore? Who's a random free early offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year predictions? It all depends on landing spots. Tyler Warren, offensive rookie of the year. I'm gonna go a little bit out on a limb. Tyler Warren, offensive rookie of the year. Defensive rookie of the year, Abdul Carter. I think Abdul Carter's probably a safe pick. Now, maybe Travis Hunter playing both ways, he wins one of them. But Abdul Carter, Tyler Warren, early picks. Are you sure you wouldn't break the law for that smoker? Nah, I'm working on a different smoker. MVP prediction for next year. Who's due for an MVP? Who is due for an MVP? Who's good but not? We're not going to see a third Lamar MVP. We're not going to see an Allen. Maybe Mahomes. Mahomes on a revenge tour. I could see a Mahomes because he feels like he needs another one. But I'm not going to pick a Mahomes. Who's a quarterback? It's going to a quarterback. I don't want to hear any other shit that it's not going. Maybe a Jaden Daniels. We could see Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels not a bad MVP pick right now. Trying to think. Joe Burrow. Give me Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow probably should have won it this year. Give me the Bengals back in the playoffs and Joe Burrow just lights it up again. And I think Joe Burrow could win it, even not being like a 1 or 2 seed. Normally it's a 1 or 2 seed. But how bad the Bengals were last year and how great Joe Burrow was. If Joe Burrow lights it up again and they win the division, like, give me a Joe Burrow MVP sleeper here. Too much draft. Milton Williams, too much draft dog. Yeah, Milton Smith. Yes, the D-tackle for Philly who had an awesome Super Bowl. Had the strip sack on Mahomes. True. I got too many fucking... You're 100% right. I have a million names in my head. Corner would be nice. KW says, go Birds. Go Birds. They are the champs. Fields. Nobody wants Fields except for Pittsburgh. Joe Shiesty. Yeah, Joe Shiesty. Sleeper. I do love a Jaden Daniels. If you want to tell me Jaden Daniels, yeah, I think Jaden Daniels could win the MVP. But I think it's a Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow needs an MVP. He doesn't have an MVP. We got a Lamar. Lamar's got 2. Mahomes on a revenge tour could definitely get an MVP. He needs another one. He's only got 2 Mahomes. I think he needs 3. It sounds like T is long-term deal. T is locked in at Cincy. They're trying to get a long-term deal done. T. Higgins going to be a Cincinnati Bengal, it sounds like, forever. That also helps my Joe Burrow MVP case. That really helps my Joe Burrow MVP case. Ronnie Staley, why are the Ravens letting their I just don't understand why the Ravens are letting a left tackle go. They're in cap shit. Like, the Ravens are in a bad cap spot. They're only $9 million over, so they're in a bad cap spot. I don't know. I like that. No, I'm still taking Allen or Mahomes first. If they fumble the Chase contract, I'll cry. I think Jamar Chase is first on the list. They're trying to get the Jamar Chase contract done first. Then they'll get T. Higgins done. And then they'll get Trey Hendrickson done. No, Jaden Daniels still kind of scares me. A little small. I'm still taking Allen, Mahomes, or Burrow first three. Then Lamar, then Jaden Daniels. But maybe I would take Jaden Daniels over Lamar. Because Jaden Daniels shown me he's good in the postseason. Like, Jaden Daniels has played better. Jaden Daniels played better in this playoffs than Lamar's ever played in the playoffs in his life. That means a lot to me. Ronnie Staley to KC. When's the last time Alejandro Villanueva, when we were talking about kneeling for the flag? That's the last time. Or when Shane Gillis talked about he was in the same class at West Point as him before he dropped out. Fields or Bo Nix? A gun to my head? Neither? Probably. Christ. Neither. A running back. We'll put a running back in. Might as well put Fields in then. God. Bo Nix can't throw the ball past 15 yards. No, I'm not a fan of Bo. Bo sucks. He can't throw the ball past 15 yards. I think Bo's no shot. No shot. Bo Nix was undraftable at 21 years old. Bo Nix was undraftable. He had a no grade at 21 years old. They're not even comparable. J.J. McCarthy did more in college than Bo Nix ever did. See, winning national championship. Sam Darnold, Sam the man. So I heard a weird J-Dubs. Oh, J-Dubs. All right, J-Dubs. Drink up, buddy. You bastard. All right, J-Dub with the super chat, $5. I appreciate it. Do you want me to shotgun this thing? I'll just chug it. God. All right. Cheers, J-Dub. Everybody thanks J-Dubs for the cheers. And if you guys want to clip it, you can clip it. But let's chug this freshly opened and cold beer. Oh, it's so cold. Oh my God, I'm not a young man anymore. It's so cold. All right, we're empty. Oh, there you go, J-Dubs. Appreciate that, big dog. I told John you were missing him, too, for the stream on Sunday. I said, J-Dub's been asking about you. Wants to cuddle up. Said he misses you. So cold. So cold. I need to not have those fresh out the fridge. All right, don't worry about it. I'm also not a young man anymore. And I had some Mexican tonight. May is better than JJ too. Yes. Drake, yes. I love Drake May. Drake May probably, yes. I'm not going to argue Drake May. I love Drake May. I wanted Drake May way more than JJ McCarthy. That's not even a question. No shot. Take Cam over JJ and probably Shadur. No. Every NFL GM would take McCarthy first. Like, that was the buzz. Like, McCarthy would easily be the first pick in this draft coming out. He jumped in the draft without you. He did not give a shit about that draft at all. He didn't care. He was like, I'm just doing this for back. He was trying to work the rust out. So rusty. He's a little nervous, you could tell. A little nervous. Acid reflux, anyone? God, I used to have the worst acid. Weirdly enough, the acid reflux went away for me, but I also lost weight. I'm not a complete fat, useless piece of shit anymore. But I also don't eat, I don't eat acidy foods anymore. But God, that shit used to cripple me as a kid. I was probably the only, like, third grader with acid reflux. Get sent home from the school. Fields or AR? Oh, God. Fields, probably. I'm not an Anthony Richardson guy at all. So, Fields. Fields. Zins, what's up? You just missed my beer chug. If you want to roll back 2 minutes. Is Miggy the best safety in the world? No. No, he is not. If he's first team All-Pro, I'm going to feel really stupid right now. Kirby Joseph. Oh, Kirby Joseph and Xavier McKinney. God, none of these guys. These guys all suck too. Who's the second team? Kyle Hamilton, but he had a terrible, terrible season this year. Buda Baker. I do love me some Buda Baker. I love Kyle Hamilton, but he was bad this year. I'm not gonna defend Kyle Hamilton's season this year. But I do love me some Buda Baker out of Washington. UW, stand up. Minka's old. Minka's like 31. Not anybody over the age of 30 at safety, not elite anymore. They can be good, they're not elite. Sorry, that's just the rules. I don't make them. Jordan Love or Trevor Lawrence? Ooh. Jordan Love slightly. Slightly. Yeah, Baker's done the biggest 180. I've done the biggest 180 on Baker ever. I hated Baker. I thought Baker was bad. I still don't think Baker should have been the first pick in the draft. But Baker won me over. Minka's 28. He fucking sucked this year at 28 then. He needs to be better. And he also has a contract coming up, doesn't he? I think he has a contract coming up. After 26, yeah. He got 2 years left on his deal. He's 29. He's 29. You lied to me. He's 30. 29 is 30. He's 30. I think it might as well be 40. DJ Moore or Marv in 2025? I'm going to give DJ Moore one more ride. I would say DJ J-Dubs. I would go DJ Moore one more. Marv really, I mean, one of the most disappointing seasons ever. I at least know I've seen DJ Moore be a top 20 receiver in the NFL. Top 15, even. I don't know if he's ever been top 10, but at least top 15. But yes, I would lean DJ. Marv really, yeah, yikes. Buda Baker, yeah, everybody loved Buda Baker. God, I just love saying Buda Baker. Buda Baker, ooh, you got to rub his belly too for good luck. Not everyone is an old man like Harry. Harrison Smith's like 38. Okay, he's ancient. Just went back and watched the beer chug. Good shit. Was it Miller Lite? No, we are Troy Aikman supported. 8 beer, only available in Texas and Oklahoma. Troy Aikman's 8 beer. It's unbelievable. Only 90 calories. We're trying to stay slim kings over here. 2.6 carbs, all organic. Please sponsor me. Somebody send this to Troy Aikman. Please sponsor me, Troy. It's good shit, and you're a great commentator. Garrett Wilson, not even a question. George Pickens is a lunatic, and he scares me. Sam the Man Darnold, number 9. Shout out Aikman. He's a good analyst. Yeah, he is. Also, he works out like a madman. If you look at Troy Aikman on Instagram, my man works out like crazy. Working out with Jason Garrett. They're BFFs. The Clapper. Analyst commentator say it, same thing. JSN or Scary Terry? Scary Terry. Not even a question. Scary Terry. I love Scary. I love Terry before the Commanders were good. I love Terry after the Commanders are good. Scary Terry is one of my favorite wide receivers in the NFL. He's probably the most underrated wide receiver in the NFL. And I don't know, I'm kind of with John. I'm worried about JSN taking over. If they get rid of DK, I don't know. JSN was nice in college. I mean, all these Ohio State wide receivers, Terry's one of them. It's hard to completely judge them all. DK or T. Higgins? T. Higgins. I think T. Higgins has better hands. George Pickens is a lunatic and scares me. Yes. Anybody seen George Pickens draft? Like, everybody's seen George Pickens draft video, right? Like, we've all seen this, right? Like, that's George Pickens getting drafted. That's Demon Top. What is going on here? He's in a shiesty. Jesus. Bowers or Kittle in 25. Bowers. As much as I love George Kittle, Brock Bowers is probably the best tight end in football. McCaffrey or Tyreek Hill? Give me McCaffrey. I think he'll come back from the injury. Tyreek Hill probably going to try and have more kids. No politics, Bob. Sports only. Sauce Gardner or Patrick Surtain. As much as this is going to hurt me, I'm going to say PS2. I love Sauce, though. Sauce is my favorite corner coming out. But Surtain just better. That was a great draft, too, for corners. Menace to society. Yes, George Pickens, menace to society. Judkins or Mixon? I mean, I have to say Mixon because Mixon is an NFL player. And he's been good. I think Travion Henderson's going to be better than Judkins. Judkins is kind of on that George Pickens kind of scares me menace to society guy. He's not like Mixon issue. Somebody asked that. Was that you that asked that last stream when I talked about Judkins? Somebody asked, like, what kind of issues does Judkins have? Was it George Pickens or Joe Mixon issues? It's more of a George Pickens issue than a Mixon issue. Even though that Mixon video was... If you guys haven't seen the Mixon video, that thing is insane. And I'm not playing that on the stream. I will get taken down by YouTube. Why is he standing like that? Because he's a that's how menace to society stand. Fred Warner over Oquan. Fred Warner over everybody. Fred Warner's best linebacker in football. Myles Garrett, Miles. Sorry. This is a Myles Garrett channel. 15. I need a Myles Garrett. I need a Myles Garrett signed helmet to go next to Johnny up there. Gibbs or Bijan? Probably Bijan. Probably Bijan. And I hate Texas, but probably Bijan. Bijan feels like more of an every down back. Gibbs was good without Monty, but I don't know if he can do that for 17 games. I know Bijan can be a 17-game every down running back. Let's have a mid-off Pacheco or Pacheco. I'm still going to lean Pacheco. I'm going to give him a mulligan with the injury, J-Dubs. Both horrendously let down this fantasy season. Pacheco was not the same when he came back, but I'm going to give Pacheco the benefit of the doubt. What was the Mixon video? He was at a restaurant and he, may or may not put a hand, may or may not, or was he at the restaurant? Yeah, I think that was the restaurant. Might have been the basketball court. I'm losing. It's bad that I lose track of all these videos. But a lady may or may not have said something or done something to him, and he may or may not have done something back. That's all I'm going to say. A-Chain or Genty? A-Chain. I'm always going to go with guys who are in the NFL. Unless they're like not any good player in the NFL or productive player in the NFL versus a rookie, I'm going to take the guy in the NFL. I have to see it first. Like, that's just my rule. That's just my rule, guys. I have to see it first. I've seen way too many busts. I'm too old. I've been through too many damn drafts. I've seen too many people that are can't-miss prospects bust in the NFL. So I'm always going to go with the guy who's been a productive member in this league. Garrett to the Packers. No shot. The Packers are too busy packing fudge. Too busy to get good. Waddle or Smitty? Smitty. Definitely. I'm not a big Waddle guy. Michael, what's up? We are having a good night. The Aggies took down number 1 Auburn in college basketball. We are touching on free agency. We're doing cap stuff. We're doing draft stuff. And everybody's bullying me into naming my either or on favorite players. It's a good night. DK to the Packers over under. I do think that is a potential. I'll give that a 43% chance, J-Dubs. 43% chance to the Packers, probably. Actually, I'm going to amend that. 23% chance to the Packers, 23% chance to any other team. And then, so that means 54% chance he stays in Seattle. I would lean he's staying in Seattle. But if it's going anywhere, he's going to the Packers. Packers need a number 1 wide receiver. They're going to trade for a number 1 wide receiver. They have good cap space. $45 million in effective cap. Packers are in good cap space. That makes sense. Kyler or Tua? God, that's yikes. Tua. Give me Tua. Tua's a good locker room guy. Kyler, not a good locker room guy. Both not great quarterbacks. Ramsey or Jair? Ramsey. Jair's the most overrated corner in the NFL. Henderson or Hampton? Why am I drawing a blank? Henderson or Hampton? Who? Are we really talking about Darrell Henderson? Or are we talking about Travion? Talking about Travion. See, maybe that chugging beer might be getting to me. We're talking about Travion? I'm going Hampton. We're going with the rookies. Omarion or Travion? I got it. I figured it out, guys. I'm a genius. Omarion. I'm going with Omarion. I do like Travion Henderson. I think he should be 4. I have Genty, Hampton, Sampson, Travion as my top 4 backs. And I would probably go RJ Harvey 5 just because Judkins scares me. The Ray Rice video was crazy. The audacity, yeah, not great. I think the Mixon video might be as bad as the Ray Rice video. My buddy told me about the Joe Mixon video. My buddy who played at Oklahoma with Joe Mixon told me about the Joe Mixon video a year before that came out and before that was a story. DK would be sick. I wouldn't like it. DK as a Chief, I think it's going to be Tyreek Hill if anybody's going back. If anybody's going to the Chiefs as a wide receiver, I think it's going to be Tyreek Hill again. Shamar Stewart or Mike Green? Mike Green, I can't do it. Shamar just not as productive. All the potential in the world just hasn't shown it. Mike Green has 17 sacks and was really good in the Senior Bowl. Give me Mike Green. Kyle McCord over Jalen Milroe. Kyle McCord can throw a football. I could see Ayuk as a Steeler if the 49ers trade him. That's an interesting one. Steelers do have money. I don't know if the Niners can get rid of him and Debo. I think you got to keep Ayuk if you got rid of... They already got rid of Debo. I think you got to keep Ayuk. I figured it out. Pitch me on Samson. So Samson was very productive this year. 1,400 yards. Let me scroll this. You guys can see this. 1,400 yards almost. 22 touchdowns. Not much in the receiving game. 20 catches, 143 yards. I don't really give a shit. He was hurt. 113 games played. He was the best player in the SEC. Super productive in the best conference, I think, top to bottom, especially defensively. Elite athletes everywhere. Good zone grade, excellent gap grade. Overall rushing grade was awesome. Pretty average yards after contact. Elusive, super fast, explosive, 5'11", 201. He would have had a monster 40 time, I think, if he ran. He's quick, explosive. I loved watching Samson play, and I thought He's just kind of the dude. He was the offensive player of the year in the SEC. I like him a lot. Doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires. Like, only 3 years, nothing crazy. You know, guys like Travion Henderson, 40 years. Did have almost 258 carries this year. It's a lot. 5.8, pretty consistent, though, across the board. 6.7, 5.7, 5.8 in an elite defensive conference like the SEC, especially very good run defensive conference. So that's my pitch on Samson over Travion. I don't think it's a lot, though. I don't think it's a lot. Didn't play in the Ohio State game. Was out for the Ohio State. Like, he played like one play in the Ohio State game. Can I like break it down by game? Nope, I can't. Where's my Serbian brother Nikola Jokic? I don't know. Where is Jokic? Boban. God, I love Bobby. Bobby was a dog. I love when Bobby played on the Sixers. Jeff Demps. God. Jeff Demps I thought was going to be a dude. Jeff Demps was a dude at Florida. Luka, the Slovenian brothers. We're just going all Eastern European guys. Do I know Xavier Restrepo? Yes, of course I know who Xavier Restrepo is from Miami. I like Xavier Restrepo. He's actually really kind of small. I was surprised how small Xavier Restrepo was. He's like 5'8", isn't he? 5'10" is generous. I like Xavier Restrepo. He's a really good slot receiver. I like him working the slot. He's a fantastic route runner. Just, he felt like he was always open. No matter what, guys would be covering him. I mean, he was the clear #1 target in Miami. And he was always open. Always open. What did he do last year? Yeah. Had 448 snaps in the slot. Only 47 out wide. Put him in the slot. Let him cook. Let my man cook. 1,100 yards, 16.3 a reception, 11 touchdowns. Let my guy cook. Jaden Higgins or Jalen Royal? That's a tough one. I don't know, J-Dubs. Royal. Give me Royal. I think that's close. Demps and Chris Rainey, the fastest duo is Percy Harvin and the rest of whoever the rest of that Florida 09 team was. 08. Those are the fastest guys, but fuck. I think Chris Rainey had like 99 speed in NCAA. What about Trebor Payne? Who the hell is Trebor Pena from Syracuse? Who the hell is this guy? I don't know who Trebor Pena is. No Pena. He's not even on the board. Who is this guy? He's not even a real person. He's from the Bronx. Cool guy. Still going to Syracuse. Still plays at Syracuse. Had a nice year. Has he got another year of eligibility? Probably. Is he senior? Junior, yeah. COVID year and then a redshirt year. Had almost 1,000 yards. Okay. Keep my eye on him. Strepo got hurt. Is that why he didn't work out? Nikola Jovic. Yeah, only true Hoops fans know Jovic. Got to see Strepo and Jacoby George in person twice. Strepo short, like I think he is. Love Nikola Jokic, street play, all life. Jalen Noel surprised me. Have to watch more film. Jalen Noel, yeah, he had a really good combine. We were talking about him the other day. We got our two light-skinned brothers from Iowa State. Noel and Higgins both look good in the combine. 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, and that's with an Iowa State. Iowa State kind of shit their pants down the stretch. Otherwise, they would have been. They lost to Arizona State. I think they lost one more game. They could have had an outright berth to the Big 12 title game or the Big 12, championship. Something weird happened with Iowa State. They got hurt. They were hurt. That's what it was. They were both hurt. Were they both hurt or was one of them hurt? We went over this. I forget. We've talked about our Iowa State boys. And both of them look good. Higgins, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Iowa State. Noel's got good tape. I know Noel's got good tape. They both had good tape. People have been gassing up the Iowa State boys for a little bit there, so those in the know. MVP Nikola. The MVP is going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Review. Collab for the McCord Pena duo. Maybe I need to, even though Syracuse kind of pissed me off since they stole like half of A&M, like Fadil Diggs and shit like that. They stole our bastard. They stole our team. I lost track of the counter. God. Counter's killing me. We're never going to have 50 viewers, guys. Those days are over when we were having 100 and 200 people watching the stream. Not football season. Will Lagway be first overall in his class? No, I don't think so. It could be Arch Manning. Cam Scattaboo or Devin Neal? I'm going to go Scattaboo. Neal really didn't blow me away at the combine. I was a little disappointed in Devin Neal. I thought he was going to run way faster. I thought Devin Neal was going to run a crazy 40. Kind of wasn't that fast. I'm going to go Cam Scattaboo. I'm comfortable with that. Cam Scattaboo, playmaker still. LeBron and Jokic, best players ever. Well, Nikola definitely has the belt currently as the best player. Which rookie running back lands in Minnesota? We don't have a second-round pick, J-Dubs. We got a 97. We have the first-round pick, a third-round pick, and 2 fifth-round picks. So if we're looking at pick 97, could be Devin Neal. I hope if RJ Harvey falls, I'll be happy. If DJ Giddens falls, I'll be happy. Brashard Smith's interesting. I would wait if we take a running back in the 5th round, Tootin or Brooks. Brooks is the great pass blocker. We need a good pass blocking running back. So Brooks and Tootin if we go in the 5th round. If we go in the 3rd round, I hope it's RJ Harvey or Giddens. Was Walter Nolan a dog at Kyle Field? Nope, they were all fat. All of them were fat and useless. 72.5 grade, 7 sacks. 1 hit, 8 hurries. Fat. Oh my God. J-Dub's trying to kill me over here. All right. J-Dubs wants another chug. Let me catch up on the chat right now. I was small play with Nikola And now NBA. Oh, you played with Nicola as a youth. Oof. Thoughts on Eugene Asante or any of the Auburn players? Auburn sucks. And thanks and gig 'em. After that, Holy Emu. Great name, by the way. That's just a little bit of a troll. Eugene Asante had a good combine. I thought he was going to be a little bit better. We gassed him up before the combine. We were looking at PFF's pre-combine dogs, I should say, like guys that were going to ball out. And they kind of let down. Now, I do like Jarquez? Harquez? Where is he? Harquez Hunter. I think he's an interesting back. I think he's solid. 1,200 yards rushing. 8 touchdowns. We lost Auburn this year. Yeah, we played like shit against Auburn. Trying to wrap my memory around Auburn, the Auburn game. But I did like Eugene Asante. I thought he would have been a little bit better. Now he's a low grade. God, is he on page 2? He's the worst running linebacker. Man, they really didn't like his combine performance. Auburn getting shit on this year. No sus shit. Over under 11.5 inches for Wemby. That's super sus. Super sus. Big sleeper picks. I don't know. Hunter more than Asante, I think. I don't know who else is in the draft. Any other? I can't search by class or by teams. All right. This is for J-Dubs. I'm going to shotgun this bitch. Shotgun this bitch? Let me warm this up a little bit. Oh, boy. I don't have my shotgun bottle on burner, but I do have a knife. Oh, that was wet. Ah, it sprayed on my desk. See, this is why I have a professional shotgun, like, opener. But that's normally for the 4th of July. All right, everybody, cheers, J-Dubs. Cheers for the beer. Ugh. Now that was pretty good. That was Saquon Barkley-esque. Ooh. Now, that should have impressed everybody. That shotgun. That was solid. That was Saquon Barkley-esque. At least you have viewers. True. People are watching. Technically. People do watch me and sometimes donate generously to watch me talk football and or other sports and do stupid shit. Another one. We got Japanese name. Are you hentai? That's crazy. Next year will be Auburn's year or be a terrible 50-50. I'm fine with that. Useless unless they implode like they just did in basketball. Let's go, boys. Holy Emu. I think, Emu, you got to drop a sub. If you're not already subbed, Emu, drop a sub for what the Ags did tonight in College Station. That old Reed Arena. True. Crushed you in basketball. Yeah, I don't like the quarterback. Who's the quarterback for Auburn again? I don't like him. He's not very good. Fuck, what's his name? I'm going to look like an idiot. I got too many... The bandwidth up here is just so maxed out, guys. I hate it. I'm starting to feel old with how backed up my bandwidth is on shit. And it's going to bug me if I don't get this quarterback. Peyton Thorne. There you go. God. Trash. He's only a junior, right? Redshirt senior? Is he done? God, terrible. We should have never. The fact that we lost to fucking Auburn. Is Travis Hunter worth the risk in dynasty perspective? Wide receivers have much better money ceiling. Yeah, I don't know, J-Dubs, because I don't know what he wants to play both ways. I think he's a good receiver. I really do. If he focuses on wide receiver, I think he could be a really good receiver. He's got great ball skills. He's got excellent jumping. He's got awesome hand-eye coordination. Good route runner. Not a great route runner, but a good route runner. I don't know if he's worth the risk, though. I think Tet McMillan's probably the guy that you would go with. McMillan feels like he's automatic, especially on a team like the Raiders. If he goes to the Raiders, I love it. Brock Bowers was great last year. Jacoby Myers was very viable. And McMillan just catches the football. Auburn kind of gave up since we already won the regular season. A likely story. I mean, school record for wins and SEC wins on the line. A&M also really needed that win after losing 4 in a row. LaQuint Allen from Syracuse also fire. Zins is a goddamn Syracuse guy now. Lambert Smith. I don't know Lambert Smith. Jack Lambert. Can we check out Montrell Johnson highlights? We can't check out any highlights because I'm going to get flagged because YouTube sucks. But potentially, guys, we could be looking at live streaming games soon. I did fill out a survey for YouTube. I'm in the YouTube partner program, and they got me doing behind the scenes shit. And I filled out NFL, would you possibly want to live stream and live commentate NFL games? And I said, absolutely. My channel deserves it. Could you imagine, guys, if I could actually show the Sunday Night Football game on here or the Monday Night Football game on here and we could watch it live together? Oof. Got me feeling nicey. Watch Auburn next year, though, because we got a crazy transfer class. I'm always out on the transfer classes. Problem is, I don't think the coaching's very good at Auburn. It could be a problem. Just choked on bad Sour Patch juice. Ugh. Anthony Estrada, the Raiders. The autumn wind blows. Gunnar Helm, do we trust the production? I know he rolled the hell out of his ankle. Yeah, and he had a bad combine before he went down. I liked Gunnar Helm. He did not have a good game against Ohio State. And I'll say Texas didn't play shit in the regular season. I'm out on Gunnar Helm. I'm kind of out on the tight ends in general. Warren and Loveland, yes. Mason Taylor's flying up the boards. Gunnar Helm has fallen big time. I like Harold Fannin Jr., even though he was kind of slow. Kind of slow for an undersized tight end. He's only 6'2", 6'4", 230, a little undersized. When you look at our other tight ends, Loveland's 6'6", 6'5", 245. Warren 6'4", 6'6". Warren's the 6'6", 261. The tight ends are big as shit at the top end. Ravens hopefully do something in the draft. I do trust the Ravens. They are a very good drafting team. Vladdy Divac, Darko Milicic. Darko, one of the biggest busts in NBA history. Thanks to Anthony Bennett. He's not number one. Vladdy. My dad hung out with Vladdy Divac at a Spurs game one time. He was sitting behind the Kings bench. Him and Vladdy he was joking about smoking cigarettes with Vladdy. French onion dip and queso, but I can't get the jars open. Use a fucking can opener. God, always have openers ready. God, unprepared. I had some good queso tonight. Had a great margarita. I gotta go drown myself after that. Ravens do always draft well. Uh-oh. Thorne, yeah, no, he's out of here. Jackson Arnold. Ooh, I don't like Jackson Arnold either. From Oklahoma. I don't like Jackson Arnold. He was a 5-star. Arnold got sacked 34 times this season, so hopefully things improve when he gets to Auburn. Darnold to McMillan. I heard the Sam Darnold market is gone. The Vikings might end up back with Darnold might end up back in Minnesota with the Vikings. Unfortunately. Bronny James Youngo. Hey, LeBron and Bronny are the only father-son duo in NBA history to score 50,000 points. Lambeer Smith, the guy who caught the game winner against A&M. Like, I remember that. I remember A&M not being able to throw the damn football. Let's see how low Lambeer Smith is. He's not even on the board. Moose Muhammad's on the board over him. Oh, wait, there we go. I lied. Yeah, I'm looking for first name. Keandre. 6'1", 181. Let's look at the production. Good grade, 78.6. Outside. 79 targets, 50 receptions. That's so fucking bad. Now, Peyton Thorne sucks. Only 3 drops, so okay. 3 drops is okay. That's fine. That's a good number. Almost 1,000 yards. 19.6 per catch, 8 touchdowns. Okay. Not the worst. Had a good game against Georgia. Looks like he's average, not great. Okay. I'll keep an eye out. I do like Thornton. Look, we gave you that win because you gave us that football game. Oh, likely story. Give me a sleeper wide receiver in the draft or fantasy. Quinshon Judkins. Oh, Jaquidin Jackson from Arkansas. Fuck Arkansas. They suck. Everyone's all over homeboy over here. Old Baldy. I do like Woody Marks from USC. I also like Woody Marks from USC. We have a top SEC wide receiver room and a new quarterback with a solid defense. And it's Auburn, so we'll run well. Potentially. New running back. Alabama's wide receiver room's got to be pretty good. Ryan Williams is awesome. No QB, no wide receiver, no tight end. Terrence Ferguson is the real tight end sleeper. Really big? Tight end, big Ferguson guy out of Oregon. Okay. I don't trust Oregon is the problem. My homie's an Oregon fan, and he shits on he gives me the down low on Oregon guys. I'll ask him about it. Horrible contested catch rate. 25% contested catch rate as a tight end. That's so bad. I can't get behind the J-Dubs. That's a bad number. I need my tight ends to be contested catches gods. They can't get open. They got to make big catches with linebackers or safeties swatting the arm, giving them a tomahawk chop. And he'd be like my man, TJ Hawkinson. Hear me out, though. Get Tez Johnson or whatever he's called to Bo Nix, and they would probably go crazy. Tez Johnson, the most bizarre combine ever. Now, they are brothers, technically. Some good big guys and some good DBs. Actually, not on the DBs, Buck Nasty, but I do love the D-line. Whew. Gets my dick hard. RBs, D-line, dick hard. Everybody else, little to be desired. Jackson Arnold only threw 3 picks behind the actual worst O-line in the NCAA. Not all those sacks are on the O-line. Jackson Arnold, really bad decision maker. Dennis Schroeder, good German guy. Was born in Serbia, now live in Germany, but if you see the Europeans have good players. Yeah, but the Americans, still number one. Thus, I do like it. You know what? International, good. Thus, hit that sub button if you haven't already. NBA playoff time. We're going to cook, big dog. You and me can cook during the NBA playoffs. I do love my chubby Slovenian boy, Luka Doncic. Unfortunately, my Sixers suck, and they make me want to jump off a roof. Almost 1,000 yards under Thorne, though. Fuck Thorne. Draft. Oh, God. What was that? Sleeper wide receiver draft. Okay. Sleeper wide receiver draft. This is a good one. I like Jack Beach. I don't know if it's much of a sleeper anymore. Hate Savion. Fuck Isaiah Bond. Nick Nash led the country in like every receiving category pretty late. I do like Thornton. Dante Thornton out of Tennessee. Interesting character. Moose Muhammad is a fucking head case. But he got open. My guy got open. Brew McCoy, let down. I thought Brew McCoy was going to be better than this. I always thought Brew McCoy was going to be better than that. Kyron Lacey in jail. Fun guy. Jimmy Horn. Jimmy Horn felt like the best receiver on Colorado at times. Jimmy Horn also had a really good combine. Jimmy Horn could be a sleeper guy. Kamir Dyke, not great. Ricky White had a really good season, too. Over 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. UNLV was a little spicy here, even with the backup quarterback the whole year, basically. Not a good wide receiver, guys. Jalen Lane had a really good combine, too. Let down overall, though, for Vautech this season. I don't love this wide receiver class at all. Dirk. Emo, no problem, Emo. Welcome to the fam. First time I've seen you in the chat, so hope you dropped a sub. Thanks for hanging out. So you want Njoku, who drops the easiest passes but catches the ridiculous contested catches? No, because Njoku's gonna have a high drop rate too. I want low drop rate, high contested catch rate, J-Dubs. They catch the ball when contested and they don't drop the fucking football. I want good hands. That's all I want out of my tight end is good hands. Felton from Maryland. Okay. Zin's on Ty Felton from Maryland. As a sleeper wideout. Nah, watch the O-line. It ain't his fault. When the O-line gives them a second, they allowed 50. They set the record for the most sacks in a game. I don't know about all that, Emu. Potentially. But my homie who is an Oklahoma alum, former player for Oklahoma, said they were just fucking bad. Everybody was bad. He said Arnold wasn't good. Bad. Kyle Williams. Ooh, Kyle Williams, solid player. All right, we've gone so far off track tonight, which I don't hate. I actually love that you guys give us stuff to talk about, and I can just feed off the chat. Keeps me entertained, keeps us going. Josh Sweat, Eagles free agent. People are kind of a little bit off of Josh Sweat. Had a good Super Bowl. Eagles need pass rushers. That is a problem. They're not going to be able to. Speaking of Eagles, they gave Saquon Barkley all the money in the world. Good for Saquon. Big dog. Saquon, big dog. So I don't hate that. Stephon Diggs got no knee. 30 years old, no knee. Out on Stephon. Hassan Reddick didn't play this year. Spent his entire year in Japan. He was a hentai guy. Travarius Ward has not been great in San Francisco. Rasul Douglas, not great either. Odighizuwa signed a new contract with the Cowboys. He's no longer a free agent. Cam Bynum, not as good as he should have been. But Cam Bynum's a great locker room guy. His life is a movie. Milton Williams, that's who I want the Vikings to sign. D-tackle. Byron Murphy, I want him to walk. He's nowhere near as good as he's demanding. Malcolm Conants, I don't even know this guy. Season-ending knee injury before the season began. There you go. Had a good 2023. Cam Robinson, he's fine. Nothing special. Dre Greenlaw, crazy man. Justin Fields, probably staying in Pittsburgh. Zach Bond is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Had a great season with the Eagles, and it sounds like they're going to let him walk. I probably would have Zach Bond a little bit higher. Number one running back. Or not running back, linebacker, excuse me. Over here looking at Aaron Jones. Our guy, I think he's back in Minnesota. On another 1 year, $7.5, $8 million deal. Zach Bond is walking, it sounds like. Eagles aren't in the best cap spot. Eagles own $19 million, and they got a new Saquon extension, and the Eagles are so committed the next few years. Eagles cap in 2026. Oh, God. This is better to look at. Eagles, bottom in 2026. 2027, the worst in 2027. They got a lot of commitments, the Eagles. Now, they haven't committed to good players. The Eagles have the money committed to good players, so obviously not the worst thing in the world. If I'm going to spend money, if I'm going to commit money, it's going to be to good players. I feel bad for free. Yes, the free agent running backs are cooked. Last year's class, obviously much better, and the draft class is so good. Now, Najee Harris and Aaron Jones are still probably going to get paid. They're going to get a good deal, especially if Aaron Jones is like in a rotation in Minnesota and he stays in Minnesota. Najee Harris will get paid. But the rest of the free agent running backs like Alexander Madison, whoever, I mean, there's a lot of mid running backs. 7 to 7.5 for Aaron Jones, I think is a good deal. Have him run rotation. I think he wants to stay in Minnesota is the thing. I think he wants to stay, and he wants less carry. He wants a little bit less of a workload. He knows where he's at this point in his career. They love him in the locker room. He's a fantastic locker room guy, which you love to see a guy leave the Packers and become a great locker room guy in Minnesota. So I expect the Vikings, he wants to come back, they want to bring him back. And then they get a rotational guy where he's kind of maybe the number 2 back, or he can lean on other guys. Because Jones just wore down so much down the end of the season. Carlton Davis, interesting corner. Drew Dalman, I would have thought the corners are better. Hufanga, he's always hurt though. God. J.K. Dobbins, a very interesting one. J.K. Dobbins, very interesting. Injury history. Massive injury history. But when J.K. Dobbins plays, he's got a lot of potential. He's cooked, yeah, probably. Will Fry's another guy that the Vikings are interested in. Will Fry's out of Indy, play guard. Tevin Jenkins, I can't imagine he's good. Chicago sucked. Asante Samuel Jr. Okay. Nick Bolton, that's an interesting one. I don't know if Kansas City. Chubb, yeah. Chubb, another guy I want to give time to coming off that knee injury. That was such a disastrous knee injury. Zietler out of Detroit, I expect him to go to Chicago. Mike Hilton, Bengals sucks. Hopkins, old. James Daniels, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's O-line sucked. Tyron Smith, ancient. Hollywood Brown, probably back in Kansas City. Juwan Johnson, not even a starter. Slayton, a bust. God, this free agent class is not great. Mekhi Becton's got a lot of traction. People like Mekhi Becton. He has great run blocking. He fucking sucks in pass blocking, though. Keenan Allen, back end, not a great season, but had really good moments too in the middle there. Russ Bus, Bobby Wagner. I think Bobby Wagner stays in Washington. I think you just keep it rolling. Dan Moore, Najee Harris, Chase Young. All right, where the fuck was Chase Young this year? Is he even alive? God, where do you think Adams will go? No idea. Somewhere on the West Coast or with Aaron Rodgers for Devontae. Diggs got the knee injury. Diggs isn't going to be available till October. He's just old, man. I'm not a big wide receiver after 30 guy. And Diggs also a head case. Complete head case, Diggs. He's crazy. He's not even Adam Thielen. At least Adam Thielen is like a really solid locker room guy at 30. I'm worried about Diggs losing his damn mind if he doesn't get the football. Good fit in Houston, though. Yeah, Chase Young still around, the mighty fallen. Feels like anybody that goes to New Orleans to become a pass rusher sucks. Adams to San Fran. I don't think the Niners are paying wide receivers, but West Coast. Could he go back to the Raiders? The Raiders did get a third-round draft pick if they get Sam Darnold, Pete Carroll, new regime. He probably still has his house out there. He was living with Rodgers. Go back to Vegas. Fuck it. Who cares? Maybe the Chargers, either of the LA teams, maybe replace Cooper Kupp. Put him with Puka Nacua. I don't know. But let's scroll down to the bottom. Adams, Rams, yep. Replace Cooper Kupp. Put him with Puka. Matthew Judon. Ancient ass. Tedrick Willis. God, Willis used to be great. So long. Team-friendly deal. I agree. Stephon Gilmore had a solid season. Lots of free agents. There's JK. Brandon Scherf. Another guy linked to the Vikings. But do not worry, guys. We'll be live. I think it's Monday. When's free agency? Monday the 10th? The legal tampering. Wednesday, March 12th. When is legal tampering? I think it's the 10th. Oh my God, when does it fucking start? I don't care about your Monday, March 10th at noon. Legal tampering. The wording is so funny. Yes, it's legal tampering. Aaron Rodgers is done. Kingfish. Aaron Rodgers is playing next year. All right, so legal tampering begins Monday, March 10th at noon. Is that noon Eastern? And ends with the start of the new league year. So if I'm reading this correctly, that's the fucking same article I clicked on. Am I a potato? Signing March 10th. Okay. Who's more Kirk or Russell Wilson? Kirk is more cooked. I don't know if he can walk or move. Russell, at least I saw moved. Both will have jobs. They're equally cooked. Yeah, that's fine. So, we'll be live later in the week, but we will 100% be live noon Eastern for legal tampering. I will be live during the free agency period, so everybody, whatever you're doing, stop on in. I will be breaking down every free agent signing as it happens live in real time. It's getting late, so I'm going to wrap it up. If you haven't already, drop a quick like on this stream. Subscribe to the channel. We had open chat tonight, so trying to pick up some new subscribers. We got daily sports content. LeBron, first to 50,000 points. That was our sports stat fact of the night. I'll probably have a video out tomorrow, Wednesday, talking about whatever's in the news tomorrow. We need to have a regular video tomorrow. Videos throughout the week. I'll be live again Thursday night and Saturday night to talk about whatever's on basketball. Could be more free agency talk. I'm sure somebody will do something crazy in the in-between time. So appreciate everybody stopping by. Fantastic stream tonight. Lots of fun. Appreciate J-Dubs dropping those super chats, making me chug those beverages, making me feel all bubbly in my stomach. Zin, thanks for the streams and the shorts. Appreciate that. Cousins is the king of contracts. Yes, and thank God my Vikings did not buy in on that last contract. So appreciate everybody